Welcome back, D2 sports fans. We are thrilled to bring you another episode of the D2 Nation Podcast. I'm your co-host, Wayne Cavadi, and joining me once again is the great Bethany Bowman. Good to see you again, partner.
Glad to be back for another episode of the D2 Nation. And this week we're taking D2 Nation to the women's soccer pitch. And of course, you can't talk about Division II women's soccer without talking about Grand Valley State. The Lakers are the defending national champions and are off to a 6-0 start this season. Joining us today is their leading scorer, Kennedy Bearden. Welcome to the D2 Nation, Kennedy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited you're here. Let's go back to the way it all started for you. It was a very good first year for you at Grand Valley State. When you go to the Lakers, that typically means you kind of have that championship or bust mentality, right? That's your goal there, and you've achieved that. Even in the COVID year, you guys made it to the GLIAC tournament. What makes Grand Valley State such a special place to play?
So there's a lot of reasons that I chose Grand Valley, but I think the top couple reasons would have to be the culture. We hold each other to really high standards here at GV, and the soccer team really pushes me to be my absolute best, and that's something that I couldn't have asked for more. It's also a very family type atmosphere, so I feel very at home here, and that's really special to me. It's kind of like my home away from home. And also the school, when I first visited here, I just felt like at home, and it was awesome, and it just had that atmosphere that I was looking for, so couldn't have chosen a better place.
Yeah, I mean, with soccer and obviously football, it's one of the notoriously rowdy and fun football stadiums. I mean, it's just, and same with soccer, that's the fan base there, right? And that's got to make it even more fun to play for when you get to play in front of those people.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
So you scored 5 goals as a freshman, and you had 3 in last season's spring season. And this year you're on fire with 5 goals in 6 games. What's been different so far this year?
I think a lot of it has to do with my experience. I think the last 2 years gave me that chance to kind of explore like who I was as a player and get to know the game a lot better. So I think my game has evolved a little bit more, and I just feel more confident as well in myself as a player. I think the biggest thing though for my success has to be my teammates. Like all credit goes to them. I wouldn't be scoring any of the goals I've scored without them. They've just put me in really great positions to score goals, and I truly credit goes to them. And also Jim has made me feel super comfortable in my role, and he's asked me to do what I had to do, and I'm just trying to get that done. So
before Coach Colin came along, you got to play for Coach Jeff Hossler, who legend, right? Now I'm sure you're following. He's been at Michigan State. This is a team that was 9-20-2 the past 2 seasons, and he has yet to lose. Is he a magician? What's so special about Coach, and what was it like playing for him?
I think Jeff, he has a really good work ethic, and he knows how to win. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, their success, that's awesome that he could go there and kind of the program around. He truly impacted me as a player a lot. He was hard on me, but in a good way. He definitely helped me like see my potential as a player, and he believed in me, and that's something like every player wants from their coach, is someone who believes in them. So that was awesome, and he definitely set me up for success. So I wish him nothing but the best at State.
Yeah. So that brought on the new era at Grand Valley State this year. You have new coach who had plenty of success himself at the D3 level. So it's a little bit different, but it sure looks the same, right? You guys are 6-0. You have 5 shutouts in the 6 matches. 2 of those 5 shutouts have come against top 25 teams. Why do you think you're seeing such quick results and quick success on the pitch with the new coach?
Yeah, so Jim came in, and obviously new coach, everybody's nervous. You don't know what you're going to get, but I think one of the best things about him is he came in and he was his authentic self, and he said, I don't want to change the culture. I embrace it, and I want to help grow that culture and make it even better. And that's more than we could ask for. I mean, he's just such a positive guy. He has a passion for what he does, and it impacts all of us as players. We want to work for him, work for each other. One of his big messages is stay humble and stay hungry. So I think that has a lot to do with our success on the pitch. Is we want more. We're never satisfied with one thing. We want to keep going to win that national championship. So he's instilled that in all of us. And I think another thing that we really appreciate about Jim is he's huge on having a life outside of soccer. So yeah, soccer is important. When you're in practice, you work and you grind, but he also wants us to have a life outside of soccer, explore, have fun, focus on school. And I think that's allowed for us to do so well in practice because we want to be there because we're mentally ready and we feel good. And that's something that's really awesome. So I think that has to do with our success as well. So
looking at your high school accolades, you probably got quite a few calls and were being recruited by a number of schools, but I was a D2 athlete myself, so that's what makes me so passionate about Division II and this podcast. What makes D2 special to you?
Like I said earlier, it's not really about divisions to me. I mean, yeah, D1, always people talk about, I want to go D1, whatever. But when Grand Valley reached out to me, I could just tell I visited, and then I realized like, oh my gosh, like this is the place I want to be at. The culture, the family vibe, the atmosphere, just everything was so awesome to me. And we can compete with almost any school. So to me, it's a lot more than divisions, but yeah, I mean, I feel at home here and the culture is awesome. So I think it all kind of comes together.
You've certainly, not just you, the whole team, the whole program over the last few years has certainly proved that they can hang with any competition in the country, no matter, like you said, it's not a division label, it's talent, and Grand Valley State has it by the boatload. But Kennedy, that was the easy part. Okay. If you listen to the show, next comes the D2 Nation hot seat. Are you ready?
Oh my gosh, I think so.
All right, Bethany, start her off.
What is in your headphones pregame to get you pumped up for a match?
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, there's a lot of good ones, but I think my number one would have to be El Chapo. It's a banger. It's a great song. You guys should all check it out. If not, I don't know. That song just gets me super hyped before a game. I always listen to it. So.
Before we go to the next question, Bethany, I have to add, I'm a little older, and this is like the third week in a row I have no idea who the people are that are the answer to that question. I'm so I need to hear like Dave Matthews Band or those kind of people. But anyway, who's your favorite soccer player? Like someone you've modeled your game after over the years?
I think ever since I was little, Alex Morgan was always kind of my inspiration. That's the person I wanted to play like. I just think her game, I mean, I like to compare myself to her because her athletic ability, and she just works really hard and she's had a lot of success. And I don't know, just ever since I was little, I always watched her highlights and stuff like that. And she's always been my inspiration since a little girl. So still doesn't change.
That's my daughter's favorite player. I like to hear that.
Yep. Cool.
Which social media platform are you most addicted to? And is there an account or a personality that you just can't stop watching?
Let's see. I'm on Snapchat a little too much. I don't know why, but I just like to Snapchat my teammates, stuff like that. And then they were adding all these like interesting like stories and stuff that you can watch. So I'm always on Snapchat. I have an addiction. I need to stop. But I like Instagram too. I mean, you can see like really anything you want on Instagram, and I love watching, like our GVSU page, even like the stuff they post, like it's kind of cool to see. So there's that type of stuff, but yeah.
This is always the hardest one. What is the greatest sports movie of all time?
Oh my gosh. There's a lot of good ones. Creed is really good.
Ooh, nice.
Miracle, Disney movie, that one's really good. And Karate Kid. All those are really good ones.
Nice.
I can't really pick one.
One last question I thought of before we let you off the hook. I know rankings, especially in the preseason, usually, you don't really care about them. That's not something for the team. That's something for the fans and everything else. But defending national champions came into this preseason ranked number 9. Did you and your teammates notice that? And did I put a little chip on your shoulder to come out even more fired up?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, COVID year, that was a weird year. I mean, we didn't even get to play half the games we wanted to play, and it was just all around kind of a crappy year for everybody. But like you said, I mean, we don't really pay attention to rankings. We just take one day at a time. But yeah, we definitely felt a little salty about it. And I think it's showing, like, we do have a chip on our shoulder, and we've been working really hard to prove everybody wrong and kind of just show everybody who we are. So, I mean, yeah, that definitely plays a part in, I think, why we're doing so well so far.
Yeah, the last thing Grand Valley State soccer ever needs is an extra reason to be fired up, and you guys definitely are. It's fun to watch right now. Well, Kennedy, congratulations. You made it through the hard part of the show, and thank you once again for joining us. Good luck this weekend and the rest of the way. And remember, D2 Nation, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Anchor, and just about anywhere else you want to hear. Join us next week for another very special guest, and we'll see you on the D2 Nation.